traffic problems. They've come there. He has gone through several meetings with deputy commissioners of the zone. Several attempts, joint commissioner, special commissioner, we have all these designations, which are all special designations. Nothing has happened. After a year and a half, he says he's come to meet the commissioner, and still it wasn't a productive meeting. So we have zoning, we have division of power, we have division of responsibility, but all on paper. If you still have to go to the commissioner to fix a drain, what is all the other infrastructure there for is the question. And at his level, he's only going to say, we're asking for more money, we need more funding, we're getting approvals, we're trying to do it. That's not going to actually fix this kind of problem, which is a very specific problem.
No, here I was trying to mention 4 zones with 4 different responsibilities. One person is not going to take the responsibility of all the 4 zones. Each zone will have their own responsibility. That's where I said their own engineering department, their own administrative, their own sanitary.
There basically is a lot of hodgepodge in the whole system, and there is no linear passage for an individual with a complaint to actually follow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they say they have a control room, and he openly, I mean, Mr. Meena says, 90% of the complaints that come to the control room are actually addressed. These are all numbers.
That's where things go out of control.
Right.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The search for little Vijay continues on second day as well. It's been more than a full 33 hours and we still don't have a clue of where Vijay is. 33 hours and counting, to be exact. Let's go across to Geeta, who's calling us. Hello, Geeta.
Hello, this is Geeta Mishra here from Rajajina.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I would like to tell one simple thing. It's a high time we start making somebody accountable to whatever is happening.
Please lower the volume of your television set, madam.
The thing is, I think that's what we've been doing in our area in Rajajinagar. The residents of any particular area, whether literate, illiterate, educated, uneducated, that doesn't come into picture. But every area have about 10 to 15 people. Let them be a little awakened. Let them make solidarity kind of groups and hold your ward office, whether it's a corporation problem or it is your BWSSB problem or your telecom problem. Make the ward office responsible for any problem you have in your area. The moment you see a problem in your area, you recognize it, gherao the ward office within 10 minutes. There'll be some engineer, some person responsible at that point of time. Gherao him, bring him to the spot and see that he immediately sees what the problem is, and please follow it up.
Have you been doing that in your area?
Yes, sir, we have been doing it, and we are very, very... this is what we have been doing for quite some time now.
And how many people have you geraud and got into your area? I'm just asking you these questions because I want the people to know.
There has been a success of at least 40%, I should say. When we had a serious problem with the BWSSB, and we were about 12 of us who went and we brought the AEE to the spot. He was very receptive. When he saw what the problem was, how serious, how grievous the problem was, he immediately swung into action, and that was very, very appreciable. His name is Mahalingappa from Rajajinagar ward. He's done a commendable job for us. Similarly with the corporation also, we had a very small problem with the garbage disposal here. So 10 of us just went to the ward office, got the person. He immediately came because he was not aware that this problem was going on. So that way, what I want to tell is, first the residents, come on, tum log jago re. Pehle aap log jago. First you wake up. You see what the problem is. Recognize it, nip it in the bud, take action immediately. We ourselves are also accountable for most of our problems. Let us stop keeping on blaming other people around or passing the buck on anybody. It's a high time. I think we too should get up, know our duties, and see how best we can also get our rights done. I think it's the residents also who need to do a lot of this kind of a field work and get the justice done.
All right. Thank you very much for calling in. Of course, there is a strong role that people can also play. But I'd want your comments, all of you. Can actually, in this kind of a situation, how much of this can help? How much of such kind of an attitude can help?
Actually, no, it is not going to help much on many occasions. I have tried it. I have gone to BESCOM, I have gone to the local registrar's office. They just give a deaf ear to you. They just don't bother to listen to what you have to say. And if you grease their palms, your work is done in 10 minutes. That is the state of affairs today.
And because the people are saying now, okay, there should be somebody should be made accountable for this, and we have to voice our grievances, and we cannot blame the authority. Anyway, aren't we raising our voice throughout these years? Several years have been. We have witnessed so many accidents, so many incidents taking place. And okay, if people cannot go, they have their own business, they have got their own problems. But the media is back of these people. Since this electronic media came out, the electronic media has taken over the responsibility of the citizen, and every minute, every second, there is something. They are at the back of these authorities, but have they awakened? Is there any awakening?
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but we have Shefali over the phone line. Shefali is 10 years old. Hello, Shefali.
Hello.
Yes.
I stay near Gokula.
Okay.
Back of my house there's an empty yard where people keep throwing garbage inside.
You've been telling your friends in the neighborhood to tell their parents not to throw garbage in that particular area?
During Environment Day I tried telling once.
Oh, did you try doing that once?
Yeah.
And didn't they stop doing it then?
No, they continued throwing.
And do you go to play with your friends every evening?
Yeah.
And would you tell them today that ask your parents not to do it?
Yeah, I'll try telling them today.
Keep telling them, and every day you must tell them.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you very much for calling. This is the kind of situation we are in. Here's a 10-year-old. She calls and says that there is an open area and no one is taking care of it. We also have to take a little bit of responsibility at least.
And I don't think this is a BBMP problem. And this happens all over the city. When there are vacant sites, people are using it, and there's a minimum amount of self-regulation that needs to be there in any society if you want to call it a democracy.
Yes.
We don't have that self-regulation. We don't have that self-regulation, and officials take advantage of that. They sometimes say, you people yourself are this bad and you blame us. So there is a little bit of that, pretty well.
For example, the BBMP has got this garbage collection from door to door. But they are paid by the BBMP and it has been outsourced. But still these garbage collectors want the residents to pay them 20 rupees or 50 rupees a month for them to come to your door and collect the garbage.
That is subcontract.
They are giving it on a subcontract. So, it is but natural for the residents to throw the garbage, or they said leave the garbage out near your gate. When you leave it near the gate, the dogs come and pull it out. And
okay, I just wanted to, yeah, please.
See, regarding the collective, Geeta Mishra just now she spoke now. I have experienced near my home, some private buses used to, night and morning they used to halt that, and morning they used to take. Over and overnight the pollution, they talk about so much about environment. Imagine the carbon is to come like that on side. So suddenly my son was not well, and we group, I couldn't go that day. We written complaint, the 10 people went to police station there. Immediately within 4 days, and 4 days the buses were removed. And also I think media plays a very good part in it. I'm not in front and sitting and praising you. The media, particularly this TV9 and News 9, it has given a lot of force. Now I am happy that child is speaking to us. See, we have that awareness and we would like to become a part of it. I think the media plays a very good role, and I appreciate this point in collective behavior, you see, and people are feeling that, oh, we can't do anything. That is not the thing. We should not become desperate. I think we should do something.
I would just take a comment from you on this, Mr. Subramaniam, that actually while you were sitting also before you came to the panel, you just tried to, you were, I think, wanting to say something about the BBMP commissioner visiting Canada at this point in time, despite knowing that this could have happened, and despite knowing that there was a forecast by the Met Department that the rains are going to be. Why is it that whenever somebody who's maybe the head of the state as well, he goes out, he comes back with dreams, and he goes out with the purpose of getting some knowledge, but things don't help?
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things is people assume that there's knowledge outside. We are a country that has sent a spacecraft, an aircraft to the moon. It's not like we do not have the best expertise available in this city, right, in the companies here amongst the people. So he's welcome to visit whichever country he wants. But it is true that it's sad that it's actually happening at this time. But even if he was here, and this had happened, it's not like his organization is well set up to just come out and say we will revolutionize this from the inside. And I wanted to just compliment the lady who spoke just before the kid, who said there are positive examples of people who want to convert a ward office to be a symbol of actually getting work done. That points to the council. There is a council that is supposed to be here. There's a council that's supposed to have 198 seats, which is not yet elected. Now the state government finally has to get its act together, allow the elections to happen, and there is a draft legislation sitting with the state government that wants a direct mayor to be elected for the city. There needs to be at some level a local elected head for a region, as opposed to the chief minister being the only major elected head, and ministers like Mr. Ashok. I have no grievances against him, but he's a transport minister. There should be a mayor out here elected who's trying to get the administration to address all of this. Those reforms are sitting with the state cabinet. They have not yet moved. In the meantime, we have 1 lakh compensation. All of those things have to be addressed. Mr. Meena is away, but even if he was here, I don't think the situation would have been particularly different. That's where things are at this point.
Now, Mr. Khalid, what do you see?
I was saying that the media is behind these people, and they are not doing anything concrete. And there was instances, okay, let us not talk about the 4 zones or bigger projects or bigger things. Let us take a basic common things. Okay, we find a thing, we have read in the newspaper that a girl fell down from the parapet wall of a flyover. And then they thought of raising the height of that parapet wall. Why is it? They are qualified people, they are technicians, they say that they will go to abroad, they'll go abroad, they'll study and come back. Okay, tell me which legislator or which minister has that knowledge, technical knowledge of studying things in abroad? Why can't they send people, now why should they go abroad? Now it's a jet age. World is a global village now. Internet is there. We get all the info on the internet. You can fax them, you can ask them, you can tell them, you can have a video conferencing. Why should you waste our money on this? Private Johns. And another thing about the garbage cleaning. Okay, fine. Well, Swachha program was there, Swachha Bangalore program. They have given subcontract, and these lower strata people, they will definitely need to have some bakshish. They demand this as a bakshish. Some people pay, some don't pay, and those who don't pay, they don't go to the houses. But ultimately, when the whole garbage is collected by these Swachha people and the other vans and other things, and when it is taken into the outskirts of Bangalore, you know how it's been taken. It's taken in an open lorry, and we are supposed to, we call our Bangalore city a garden city, but I am sorry to say it's a garbage city, because they've just all Bangalore is littered with this because of this BBMP, not by the local people. Because if they carry the garbage in a covered lorry, this will not happen. Also, if the authorities are not concerned, tell me what lesson common citizen will learn.
So I guess looking at the picture, even in the morning they are cutting the grass and things like that, no? Yeah, they know very well the rainy season is there and things are not maintained. They should do.
I mean, there is no escaping. There's no escaping the situation.
No, if they keep it clean and things, this does not happen. No?
That's right. That's right. There's exactly no escaping the situation. They knew that this is going to happen. This is a very critical time. There was a proper forecast as well. The BBMP should have been ready. Even if it was not raining by now, after what we saw, what happened to Abhishek, things should have been changed. It was 5 months. 5 months is a huge gap. Now we take a quick break, but before we go into that break, in fact my colleague Sakshi spoke to Mr. Chengappa, the Director of Karnataka State Fire and Emergency Services, earlier in the day, and here is what he had to say. We take a quick break after that.
And Emergency Services, Mr. B.G. Chengappa, to tell us how exactly has the rescue operation been today and what can we expect in the time to come. So sir, what has the operation been like today?
Since morning 8 o'clock we are on the job. We have increased our strength today. We have given additional equipment like fire racks and other things. And we are sincerely trying, which we can see now. So our target is somehow to locate the body and finish up this operation.
And now we can see till now the terrain was a little easy, but now it gets a little tricky ahead since buildings and all have come up. So what is the terrain like, and how are you going to tackle the problems you're going to face?
So we too have certain limitation. We cannot go beyond that one, and we have some certain equipment that cannot be used for this type of rescue. Here is more of manual job and manual search that we are doing it, and we are sincerely doing our best to somehow to locate the body. And you know, it is only 1.5 years boy, and size is very small. It is very difficult to locate such body, but we are hopeful.
And Mr. Chingappa, there's been a lot of speculation regarding the kind of equipment that your men are using. Would you like to say something on that front?
See, for this type of rescue, when we cannot use other equipment, we are having JCB, we are having cutting tools, all those things are not required. We are having, if at all there is some obstruction, there is some hindrance to our operation, then we can use those equipment. It is not there, it is all open drainage now. We have to walk through the drainage, we have stopped the water, now water level has gone down now. Now visibility is more, and somehow we are trying to locate the body.
And how come such an operation today? We can see it's more intensive. I was here yesterday as well. The operation today is a lot more intensive. How come yesterday such tactics were not employed that you're employing today?
No, we have done yesterday our job. It is not that we have not done. So any incident, the moment we get the message, without bothering who has called and from where it has come, we rush to the spot with the 2-3 vehicles in the beginning. Later we today little bit planning, because we had one time a night to plan and change your strategy a little bit and work more in a more systematic way.
And what ahead from here? Where does this Raj Kalve head us to, and where are you headed to? Which direction, towards which lake?
We have to go to Madiwala Lake. Already my team with the 2 boats, they are already trying, and they are putting. See, the general tendency of any dead body is to float after 24 hours. Here it happens in a pure water, but I don't know whether in this in this type of water, whether it will float or it will remain in the bottom. Let us hope. Let us. Every time we may not file Abhishek case, we couldn't do it, but here we are hopeful at least.
And this is a very similar case to the Abhishek case. What differences do you see in the kind of rescue operation that you have employed here?
No, same thing we are doing it. It's a little bit extra equipment we have arranged. This every operation is a learning process for us. We both of us are in the department in the last 34 years. And every incident, every fire incident, every rescue call is a learning process for us. And we try to implement, and we are going and we are improving. And we have succeeded every time. See, this one Abhishek or one Vijay case is not that. So many rescue calls. We have 2 rescue units in Bangalore. Every day they go one or other drowning cases, road accidents and other things. Every time we have succeeded, not that we have failed, but this is something odd case.
And in the Abhishek case, we saw the army being brought in the last few days of the operation. In this case, do you see that happening, or do you feel your team is actually strong enough to carry out the whole operation by itself?
No, this decision has to be taken by the BBMP. I mean, we never say that we cannot do it. Even when army came also, we were there, and we continue to do it. It is up to policy decision has to be taken by BBMP, whether they have to involve other agencies. But as far as we will not stop it, and we will continue to do our job.
Good afternoon, you're watching News 9. It is now 33 hours. The search for little Vijay continues on day 2. It has been a full 33 hours since Vijay slipped and fell into the drain while playing with his friends. Now, after a day-long search proved futile yesterday, the search resumed this morning. The search operations began at around 7:30 a.m. with over 150 firemen, and the water levels in the drains had reduced as compared to yesterday, making the search proceed faster. Now, the operation also reached the Madiwala Lake by afternoon, and post-lunch the rescuers are now searching the Madiwala Lake to trace Vijay. Transport Minister R. Ashok called on Vijay's parents and handed over the compensation amount of rupees 1 lakh that was announced by the Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa yesterday. The government has also announced that criminal charges will be pressed against Ravi Reddy, the developer of the RR layout where Vijay drowned. Now, a lot of people have been claiming that instead of transfers, instead of anything else which is done, there should be criminal action taken against people who are irresponsible, the people who should be taking taking care of the people and little children who seem to be falling into drains. Now that is definitely a very, very huge development in that regard, that criminal charges will be pressed or not. Now for more on this, let's go across to my colleague Nikhil, who joins us from the spot where the rescue operation, where the recovery operation is taking place. Nikhil, what exactly is happening at this point of time, and do you have any clarity as how long the rescue operations will go on till today?
Well, as of now, we haven't really heard of the time duration till which